Hello, my name is Scott Rodilitz. I'm going to be presenting on some joint work with Vahideh Manshadi called Online Policies for Efficient Volunteer Crowdsourcing. So this talk is about volunteer management, generally speaking, but we're going to focus on a particular application in food recovery. And to motivate that, I just want to highlight that we waste a ton of food throughout the consumption and production process in the US. And yet simultaneously, there are 54 million Americans that live in food insecure households. So we have a significant opportunity to collect some of this wasted food and deliver it to people in need. Now, online platforms have recently emerged to help with this process. In particular, they address two key challenges: making connections between donors and recipients, and facilitating the transportation of that food, particularly in the last mile delivery process. So the organization that we've been working with is called Food Rescue US. They've had a pretty significant overall impact, but they operate on a hyper-local level. Each of the 30-plus locations in which they're active has a site director, and that site director creates a pickup and a drop-off schedule. As one example, we've presented a pickup from Yale West Campus Dining, which has a drop-off at Morrissey Manor Public Housing. And the site directors post that schedule to the Food Rescue US app and website, and they then rely on volunteers to transport the food. Now, if no one has volunteered as the time of the pickup approaches, the site director is in charge of sending notifications to volunteers to try to make sure that the food does not go to waste. So our goal in this project is to design policies that efficiently nudge volunteers in order to minimize the number of missed donations. All right, so when we think about notifying volunteers, there's a few things that we have to keep in mind. The first is that these notifications need to be infrequent. We can't require a response because we're not dealing with paid labor. In addition, these volunteers may not respond promptly, so site directors want to make a one-time decision about which volunteers to notify. But that is somewhat of a challenging problem. And to motivate that, let's take a quick look at a toy example. So suppose we can notify each volunteer every 2 days. And we've got two volunteers, V and U. Now, if a donation is available today, a site director may want to maximize the probability that that donation gets picked up by notifying both volunteers. But that means that tomorrow, if a donation becomes available, neither volunteer can be notified, and so that donation won't get picked up, which is unfortunate and unfair to the organization that's expecting that donation tomorrow. So what we have is this classic OR trade-off between maximizing the payoff that we can get today by notifying more volunteers and maximizing our future payoff, which can be done by saving volunteers for that future date. So currently, Food Rescue US resolves this trade-off in a somewhat ad hoc and random way. Site directors choose a small, random subset of volunteers and hope that one of those volunteers responds to the notification. In addition, this is somewhat time-consuming. So what we want to do is to leverage the untapped potential of Food Rescue US data to help the site directors. Just to give you an overview of what we've done, we first introduced the online volunteer notification problem. It's a general framework for leveraging data to make better notification decisions that we think can be used in a variety of contexts. Unfortunately, this problem is intractable to solve optimally, so we instead develop online policies with constant factor guarantees, as shown by the green line compared to our benchmark. And we evaluate those policies in part by providing hardness results, which are parameterized by that red curve above. Now, these results are going to depend to some degree on the volunteer activity level, which we're a bit more precise in defining in the paper. It's good to have some theoretical guarantees, but we also show that our policies perform well on data from Food Rescue US. On the left is our policy, and on the right are heuristics that we think represent current practice. We're very excited about these results, and we hope that you take a closer look at our paper or our longer talk on the website. Thank you.